Hello. Somebody tell me if you guys can hear me because I'm using different headphones. So, like, mic check 1, 2. Is that how we do that? Mic check 1, 2. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. There are so many people in the chat already. Let's start at the top because, hang on. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Okay. I did a whole lot of stuff this weekend, you guys. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy weekend, and I wrapped it up with a ridiculous Sunday. So, Adele is here, SC Aquatics here, Brandon, Greg, Fish Tank Barn, Bob Kaler, BJ Palmer, Nola Jane. Everybody's here. So many people are here. Skipper's Aquariums, Tampa Tom's here, Tiffany White, Holly Gibbs, Denny's, Fish Tanks. I'm pretty sure I saw Dragon Bro. Yeah, Dragon Lair, what's up? Hopefully everyone can hear me. I have no idea, but I'm just going to start talking and keep talking because I did a lot of things this weekend. Morrison family, Steve French loves her new home. Good. I love that. Do you know how many people got real confused when I told them that I sold Steve French? And they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, okay, so I named this betta Steve French, and I said it in a live stream, and now the Morrisons want to buy it, and they're like, okay, and so they set it all up. So I labeled the bag Steve French, but like everybody kept thinking that Steve French was the customer's name, and I was like, no, that's the betta's name, not the customer's name. It just got very confusing, but we worked it out. PA Fish Preacher, what is shaking? Oh, all the things. Steven wants to know how the crabs are. They're getting big. I have vampire crabs. They're getting big. I'm really sick of Steven talking about the crabs, though, because I honestly only took them home because they bred out at Aquatic Arts, and we didn't have anywhere to put them, so I brought them home. Crab Queen. Yep, Crab Queen. What else? What else? Okay, so Friday morning, I got a text from Steven from SC Aquatics that he wanted to go pick up this tank at Ohio Fish Rescue. So Ohio Fish Rescue gave him a 200-gallon tank, and I was like, okay, let me see if my car can make it to Columbus. Because if my car can make it to Columbus, then I can just ride with you the rest of the way to Strongsville, right? Right. So that worked out swimmingly. Car made it there. I made good time. Gas was great. All this stuff, right? Go to Ohio Fish Rescue. Have a great time. Watch Josh and Steven try to move a 200-gallon tank down a slidey clay snow slope. That was pretty fun. And then on the way back from there, me and Steven were like, am I going to be able to move this tank with you? And just, whatever. And we got the tank moved swimmingly. I got footage of all of that. I'm sure Steven's going to do a video too. He filmed a lot more than me. And then I drive home, and I get home, and everything's fine. Car did great on the way home. Made good time on the way home. My phone didn't die, all of that. And so I'm like, all right, I got to get some sleep because I barely slept at all in the last 2 days. And I got to go to work in the morning, right? So I wake up this morning, and I'm like, okay, I need an extra hour. And I text work, and I'm like, I'm going to be 1 hour late because I have to sleep 1 more hour. And they're like, that's cool. I was like, I'll stay late. They're like, that's cool. I get on the drive to work, right? Which is like, you drive to work every day. So you go into like autopilot. You're just like driving. I wasn't doing any I wasn't distracted driving. I barely had the radio up. I was like watching the road. And I'm driving down the road. And there's a squirrel in the road. It's up on its hind legs, just standing there. And I said out loud in my car, I said, move, squirrel. And the squirrel didn't move. So I went to give the squirrel, the break. You give him a break. You're like, I'll break a little bit for you so you have time to get out the road, but like get out the road because I'm coming through. So I break, and the squirrel didn't move. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give him a little bitty swerve to the left so that he has enough room over here to move out of the road. and the squirrel didn't move to the right. He took off left in front of me. And in my reactive brain, instead of going, you don't have the money to wreck your car right now over a squirrel, my reactive brain was like, save the squirrel! And I hit a mailbox and put my car into a fence. But that's not even the Haley's an idiot part. Like, you'd think that was bad enough. You would think that it was bad enough that I wrecked the last car that I've got standing over a squirrel, but that's not bad enough. I smell gas, right? So I'm like, oh no, I smell gas. Something must be wrong. So I turn off the car real fast, right? Because I'm like, turn off the car because I'm smart dragon. So I turn off the car. And then I'm like, I assess the situation. I'm like, okay, can't get out my door because there's a fence over there. I'm stuck in a ditch. What's the move here? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn the car back on and I'm going to see if I can get it up out of this ditch, right? And at this point, the person whose mailbox that I smashed has come out. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm going to try to get it out. And I'm like making phone calls, right? So I go to turn it back on and it won't turn on. And I'm like, why won't it turn on? What did I do? What could I have done that's so horrible? Just going into this ditch and like kissing this fence. Like, there's cosmetic damage. Okay, I'll give you that. But what could I have done that would make the car not start? Like, the airbags didn't deploy, none of that. So I'm like, it won't start. It will not start, right? Dang it. About this time, the cop pulls up. Oh no, I missed the squirrel. We got a $5 super chat from Rich T. It says squirrel barrel fun. No, the squirrel's fine. He ran up a tree like a jerk. Like a jerk. I think there was another super chat in here from Steven. Oh yeah, $4.99 towards the new car. Thanks. Thank you. I'm gonna use that yeah, right in the new car fund. Anyways, so where was I? Oh yes, the cop pulls up. Here comes the cop. He was the nicest cop ever. Like, he went over and he talked to the people whose mailbox I hit, and he's like, hey, if she can pay for this on her own, you know, we don't have to file an accident report, her insurance won't go up. Like, super nice. Like, I think he looked at me and he was like, this chick has no money. Had to have. Anyways, so he's like, so are you got someone? I was like, my dad's on his way. He's got tow straps. He can pull me out, assess the situation, tow me home if need be, right? So my dad gets there. Well, no, before my dad gets there, the cop's like, it's cold out here, so if you want to sit in my car, you can. And at first I'm like, no, not a chance of getting in a cop car. I'm fine. I'll freeze to death. It's cool. I'll just stay right here. No. And then it was really cold. So I got in the back of the cop car. And he's like, oh, you're okay back there. And I'm like, just don't go anywhere. Just don't take me anywhere in the back of the cop car. Oh, God. So my dad gets there and he pulls me sideways to get me off of the fence. And then he like starts looking at the engine and stuff, trying to figure out why it won't start. And he tells me, get in there and see if you can get it to start. And as I climb in the side of the car that I can actually get into because it's not in a fence, I realize that the car is still in drive. So I put it in park and I started it and it started right up. So theoretically, I didn't need any help. I probably could have just put the car in park, started it up, and got myself out without having to call my father and be like, hey, Mr. Squirrel, I'm stuck in a ditch. What? Oh, Lord. So I drive up out of the ditch, like, no problem. Literally, I wasn't stuck at all. I would just hadn't put my car in park to where I could start it. It's basically just cosmetic damage. We're looking at it. I like messed up the hubcap. We're like, okay, that's pretty messed up. Maybe you bent the rim. Let's limp it home and then we'll take a look at it, right? So I start driving home at like 20 miles an hour with my flashers on. And I'm like, this thing's got a wicked wobble. It's going like this. So I definitely bent the rim. And we got like within a block of my house, right? We turn on to the street before my street in my town, right? And there's another squirrel in the road, right? And at this point, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I've lost all hope for sanity. And I just start blaring on my horn. I'm just like, move, squirrel. My dad is behind me in his truck, just cracking up. He just thinks that's hilarious because he sees the squirrel running up the tree, and I'm like, oh, I'm done with the squirrels. Every time, it's something stupid like that, and then oh, anyways. So that's my life. Questions, comments, concerns. I think I saw another super chat here for Fish Tank Barn. Squirrel 1, Haley 0. Yeah, I lost to a squirrel today. Like that's how I ended up. Oh, Fish Tank Barn, Squirrel 2, Haley 0. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And yes, I lost to a squirrel. Um, and also don't understand that your car has to be in park before you start it. I need like 6 naps, you guys. I don't understand. Also, somebody please tell me to stop breeding rainbow fish because this tank here is full of rainbow fish. There's another 20 long up there full of baby rainbow fish. There's baby rainbow fish everywhere in here. Rich tea, squirrel whisperer. Not even close. Uh, yeah, not even close. Sean says that sucks. How are the others looking? What happened? Haley learned her lesson. People first. Yeah. In hindsight, had I had even like 2 seconds to have rational thought before my reactive brain took over and was like, save the squirrel. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have gone, your car at the moment is your only means of transportation and making money. It's worth more at the moment than this squirrel. Obviously, this squirrel has a problem and it's not smart enough to get out the way of the car, so removing him from the gene pool is a good idea, but whatever. I didn't. My reptile brain took over and I was like, squirrels are people too. No. Ugh. That sounds like a good problem. Sell the rainbows. Yeah, but they take forever to grow out. And my smart move was put them in the fully planted 50 lowboy, which means they're almost impossible to catch. I feel like I'm in that Geico commercial or whatever, that State Farm commercial where the squirrels are like high-fiving in the middle of the road. Ugh. The squirrels are out to get me for sure. Yeah. Steven 499 super chat, gotta cull the world of squirrels, right? I told my husband, I was like, I'm gonna get on YouTube and tell everybody this story, and then some squirrel corporation, like SaveTheSquirrels.com or something, is gonna, we're donating this car to Haley from Oddball Aquatics because she saved the squirrels, and then cut to a picture of me in like a little tiny cabin like surrounded by squirrel pelts because I'm just out there like taking out squirrels because I'm over it. Oh, a minnow trap in the low boy. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna think about that one. So who's my husband? What the hell? Bear has a new name. Yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. I can't remember everyone's nickname. It's too much. Fish Tank Barn says if it makes you feel better, someone drove into a ditch and flew into a cornfield while their dad was asleep in the front seat. I mean, that doesn't make me feel better, but it also doesn't make me feel like, it makes me feel like I'm not alone. It's like sometimes it's when you get into that reactive mode, like when you're not using your brain and your brain is just doing stuff for you, and it's like, this is the information you need. Squirrels should be alive. Like, and then you realize that you're 2 foot away from a tree. Like, what are you doing? Nola Jane says, I had my 3-week-old great nephew for 2 nights, so I feel you. Steven says, if it makes you feel better, I have a 200-gallon tank that doesn't fit in my door. Yeah. So, other stories. I have lots of stories. So, let's start this road trip nonsense that went down, right? So, I get to Columbus, and Steven's got to take his dogs over to his parents, and he borrowed this giant van from his work. And we get like, I don't know, an hour down the road, and all of a sudden he goes, huh. And I was like, what? And he goes, I wonder if this gas gauge works. I'm like, what do you mean if the gas gauge works? What does that mean? And he's like, well, we've been driving for an hour and this thing's still on full. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And I start looking and it's got the like, and he's pointing it out and it's got the like, the numbers where it like tells you this many miles to empty, you know what I'm saying? And that number keeps going up. And I'm like, he's like, maybe it's a hybrid. And I'm like, it's not a hybrid. It doesn't even have Bluetooth. It's not a hybrid. It it's not generating gas, Steven. I was like, did you fill this thing up before we left? And he goes, no, it was full when I picked it up. And I'm like, bro, is this thing, are we about to like run out of gas in the middle of nowhere? So then we start watching and the numbers start going down, but they're going down like one every couple of seconds, not like one every mile. So it's like couple of seconds, 452, couple of seconds, 451, couple of seconds, 450. Like, and it keeps dropping. And I'm like, oh, at this rate, in like 20 minutes, it's gonna be like zero. But then it starts going back up again. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening with the gas gauge. And he's like, it'll be fine. And we drove for another hour, which means we were like basically there. The gas gauge started to go down a little bit and it was acting slightly more normal, but it kept going up and down, which was frightening. And then we were on our way back, and Steven's like, I was like, are you gonna put gas in the thing? And he's like, no, I think we have enough. And I'm like, okay, I hope we're not stranded because it was like snowing. Anyways, it worked out fine. So 200-gallon tank. So literally on the way to his house, or no, as soon as I got to his house, we were talking about it, and I was like, so, um, did you measure? Is this tank gonna fit through the through your front door? And he's like, it should. And I'm like, is this tank gonna fit through your front door, Steven? And he's like, yeah, because the standard door is 36 inches. It's a 3-foot tank. That's 36 inches. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna fit through your front door. And he's like, I think it'll fit. We load it up. We get all the way back. Me and Big Rich talked about it on his live stream. We showed up during the live stream. By the way, my hair is blue. Y'all can testify that's blue, right? Because it picked up the green screen on Ohio Fish Rescue's live stream. So my hair was invisible. And there was fish in my hair. Where's my mic here? There we go. Can you hear me? Yeah, my hair was invisible and there was fish in my hair. So me and Rich were like, I hope it's gonna fit, but it might not fit because like the trim of the door and the door. So Steven calls me, and after I get home, he gets home, I get in my car, I go home, I get home, and then I get a phone call from Steven, and he's like, so it doesn't fit through my front door. And I'm like, Dragon called that. Thank you very much. Tank's currently in the garage. Yeah. Oh, what else happened? Science Gal Aquatics is here. What's up? Just Shrimp Danny is here. Marston family says you have car problems. Yes, I do. It means stop and fill up the tank. Yes, it does, Jess. Tell Steven. Yeah, I know Steven knows cars, but Steven knows cars like he has all the fancy equipment to fix the cars, and he works with like the high-end cars. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm used to like junker cars and like putting my car back together with pieces from Ace Hardware. Like, but also I'm not walking for gas. Like, if you're the one that screwed up the gas, you're walking for gas. I'm waiting right here. But it's also going to be really cold because it was cold. That sucker had a massive fuel tank. Yeah, how much did it cost to fill it back up? I'm guessing a lot. Okay, that just jumped. My hair is turquoise. Well, still, yes. Whatever. The green screen picked it up. So when I came in, it's like I have no hair. Hoopties for life, right? Like, I will drive a car into the ground and apparently also into a fence. I have no problem with my big carpet python cage. It's wider than the door to the reptile room. Yeah. Measure things before you bring them home. But it gets to escape that tank. I'm not sure when because now I'm not sure about the car situation again. However, I'll figure it out. But I got to get to his house and escape that 200-gallon once he gets it set up. And then Big Rich is going to let me put plants in the Bellagio tank. So I have to make it back out to Ohio Fish Rescue, and I have to take a lot of Jungle Val. Thinking Jungle Val all the way along the back. So I'm getting into the Bellagio tank. I'm so excited about that. I was like, please, please, please let me do it, please. Actually, I was talking to him about the Bellagio tank while we were standing in front of it, and he's like, you could come put plants in all of this. And I'm like, yes, 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 I'm doing it. Me. I'll bring you all the plants. Me. I'm not putting squirrels in there. I really want to dirt Steven's 200 gallon. Can y'all convince Steven that his 200 gallon needs to be dirted? Fish Tank Barn says I have tons of Jungle Val if you need any. It's a 20-foot long tank, Fish Tank Barn. So if you want to send me some Jungle Val to go in there, I will say your name on the video. And because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks right now that are grown out with Jungle Val that I can pull. But it's going to take every single piece I have to plant the entire back wall of that Bellagio tank. And then I'm going to put some stuff out in the front of it too, but I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, whether it's going to be a bunch of Anubis, which I think would be the best option just because it's a thicker leaf to stand up to those cichlids. But I thought about doing a bunch of Taiwan lilies in the front. Can't decide. Anybody got ideas for the front of that? I support organic soil tanks streetwise. Yes. I want to dirt it. Yeah, you're going to need a lot of plants. Adele says you're going to need a lot. Yeah, I know. Science Gal says if you're going to take another road trip, I might invite myself to be your assistant. Carrie, between the fact that you can't drive at night and I can't drive under 5 miles per hour, I'm not sure if we'll make it, but I'm down, whatever. Fish Tank Barn says I have hundreds of tanks. Most of them are full of Jungle Val. Well, I have a 20-foot long Bellagio tank to cover the back wall in Jungle Val. Thought about mixing Jungle Val and Italian Val just to give it a little bit of like depth. I'm not sure. Are you going to do floaters? Not in the Bellagio tank. That would cover the light, and that thing, it's got to have massive light on it to get the par down to the bottom. Anthony's Fishy Friends, hello! Streetwise says I have a local composter with $1 a scoop. What, dirt? Oh, dirt's cheap. I can get dirt. Kevin said I restarted a 20-gallon high tank, dirted 3 layers, sand, dirt, gravel. How do you start your tank with dirt? I rinsed my organic potting soil, but still got a ton on top. So I don't ever rinse the dirt. Dirt just goes in, like dirt. And then I put pool filter sand over the top of it. But like you got to do a deeper layer of pool filter sand than you do dirt. And then I fill it up with water. I don't rinse the pool filter sand either because that's why I use pool filter sand because it's cleaner. And I find that as long as you're not just dumping water in there, it doesn't really get cloudy. But yeah, dirt, pool filter sand, fantastical. Cap it with sand. Yep. Good old Indiana dirt, right? Just like Lucas. Yeah. Whoa! That was a rope fish, by the way. If you heard that noise, that was a rope fish jumping. I'll show them to you guys before we shut this down for sure. The 7 that are in quarantine right here in this pond right here, they'll come straight up to you. They're so cute. Okay, so Stevens with the $4.99 super chat. You didn't tell them who got the best bed in the house. So yeah, I called the bed in the basement. I was like, dibs, right? There was a bed in the basement, and then there's a pull-out couch in the living room, right? And I was like, I'm calling the bed in the basement. And Steven's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am, right? Dibs. So then I had to go outside for a nicotine refreshment. And I came back inside and everyone was gone, including Steven, who was downstairs in my bed. So I had to sleep on the pull-out couch. And Big Rich almost killed me because he came through the living room in the middle of the night checking on Tracy, and he kicked a board and darn near fell directly on top of me and was trying not to scream. And I just remember rolling over and looking at him like, huh, he's making a weird face, and then going like back to sleep because I stayed up till like, I don't know, 3 or 4 a.m. looking at Aquabid and researching infusoria because these puffers here, I am bound and determined to get this right. And I have figured out that I need to feed them 5 times a day as babies, and it needs to be a ridiculous amount of infusoria, which means I'm about to bomb my house with a lot of stinky, stinky containers of infusoria. Mickey said, are real fish burping? No, they're jumping. They're jumping. They want attention. Let's see. Kevin said, did you add anything else besides the dirt and sand? Water. Just water and plants. And then I fertilized my water column. So here's the fertilizer I use. Hang on. Bum, bum, bum. So Stephen Conroe runs 614fish.com. And I really like this fertilizer mixture that he came up with. It works really, really, really good. For me, at least. Whatever. But I love this stuff. So I always order this from him. And this time when I ordered it from him, he sent me this. So shout out to Steven from SC Aquatics. He may steal my bed over at Ohio Fish Rescue, but he did send me a whole gallon of fertilizer. So whoop. He gets a pass. Friendship pass. Friendship pass. And I'm in my pajamas, and I've had a day. I don't care. Dan says shrimp tanks have plenty of infusoria. Hint, hint. I know, Dan, but I need to produce enough infusoria to feed 100 baby puffers at least 5 times a day. And like be able to filter them out of the water. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. I went back and watched Preston when he did his interview on the Aquarius podcast, and everything he said, I just re-listened to like 3 times because I've got to do this. The rotifers worked Fish Tank Barn, but I couldn't produce enough of them. Like, I could not produce enough rotifers and green water to feed rotifers, and they would eat half my colony in one feeding, and they were still dying off. Like they were starving. And I just think because they're a predator and they eat so much and they've got such a short gut that you just have to keep pumping food in them. In that Aquarius podcast interview, Preston John said if he missed one of the 5 feedings a day, his yield, his amount of fry would decrease by like half at least, which is crazy. But yeah. Somebody want a Tracy update? Tracy's doing good. I helped Big Rich with Tracy that morning, and she's getting better slowly, but it's like you can't just expect somebody who's had all of that crap happen to them to like snap out of it. It's not just a light switch thing. Like she's there. She looks at you. She's like, oh, I love her. She's so adorable. Hashtag Team Tracy. Right? Right. Okay. Can I just float Taiwan Lily? Yes, Fishyman64. You can float Taiwan Lily. You see all the greenery on the top of this tank right here? That's all Taiwan Lily. And there's like 4 or 5 of them that are planted, and the rest of it's all floating. Sand base. Okay. All right. Am I caught up here? So am I still working on Bashir breeding? Well, here's the thing. They haven't bred for like ever. And I don't know if like my female got old or what happened, but I think it has something to do with temperature because at one point, like I never checked the temperature on that tank because it's always at 82 and it's always been at 82 for forever. But I went and checked it like 6 months ago and it was at like 92 and I was like, whoa, that's too hot, right? It was like way up there. So I turned the heat down and they stopped breeding. So I turned the heat back up and they haven't started breeding again yet. I'm guessing it has something to do with seasonal breeding temps. That is correct, Jess. Do I have any Taiwan lily for sale? I think so. I have not checked my website in like a little while. But if I don't, I should have because I got a ton of them. So I'll check it out and see if I can fix that for you. Alice says, hey Alice, what's up? Holly says, do you trim back the large leaves on the Taiwan lily to let light through? I should, or I should just be pulling them as they are created. But I like jungle tanks, so I usually just let it go because it makes me sad to trim plants. Now, this 50 Lowboy, I've been trying really hard to be an aquascaper, right? Like trim the plants, replant them, make decisions, shape things, like that kind of thing. And I'm doing all right. It's not great. I like jungle tanks, so I like to let things get real bushy, but it's not really like the aquascape way. Steven's got to run. What's up? See you later, Steven. Can we get a Christmas list for Haley? Haley doesn't have a Christmas list. If I'm making any Christmas list this year, it's for my kid because that's gonna be the crazy thing on our family this year. It's gonna be nuts. Cause yeah, one person working, 2 cars that one person keeps breaking. Ugh. Let's see. What's my website? What is it? aquariumdragon.com. I don't even know my own website. I'm horrible at promoting things, by the way. Horrible. Difference between pipefish and ropefish. That's a lot of difference. Which difference do you want? Totally different species. A pipefish is tiny, has a tiny mouth, brackish usually. It's basically like a freshwater seahorse. And a ropefish is basically like a freshwater snake, but more like a Bashir snake. Alice says, be happy you only have one kid, right? Well, and I also have my husband, but you know. Oh, Bob Taylor with the $24.99 super chat. Christmas fun. Bob, I still have to send you something, some plant. I can't decide what to send you. But thank you for the super chat because you're OG squad. Bob is the only reason that I ever actually go live on Sunday because he reminds me to go live. Because I always am so tired that I forget that I'm supposed to be live every other Sunday at 8 o'clock, and then I forget. So thank you, Bob, for protecting my sanity and also for the $24.99 super chat because you're the man. Alice says she loves the hair, thinks it's green. Don't tell anybody. Everybody already knows. Because it's apparently a green screen. Gone Mad's here. What's up? I haven't seen you in forever. My nose is getting stuffy. Dan says, call it propagating and don't be a wuss. Call it propagating and don't be a wuss. Hit the squirrel and don't be a wuss. How am I so strong in all other aspects of my life, but when it comes to like, I'm just a marshmallow. Just a hard, crunchy exterior and a gooey center that just can't hit the squirrel and save my own car. Can't cut the plant and save my aquascape because let the plant live. Ugh. Tom says you can start Taiwan lily from the cuttings too, just like a stem plant, right? Tom knows he's got some Taiwan lilies. Yeah, don't hurt the plant. Don't hurt the squirrel. Last time it was don't hurt the deer that jumped out in front of me. Swerved to miss that too, like a doofus. Don't walk on the grass. I'm not that bad yet. Yet. It just makes me sad. I don't want to hurt things. But things are in my way when I'm driving large machinery. I gave him the little swerve. You know what I'm saying? You do the little swerve where you give him like 3 more inches and it makes you feel better. Like I gave him 3 more inches and all he had to do was run out the road. And instead he went left. And instead of just hitting his butt, I was like, I'll go left too. What happened in the mailbox? It actually wasn't that broken. I really just ripped it up out the ground and threw it over the top of the car. But I gave the guy my number and I was like, I can fix the mailbox, my dad can fix the mailbox, or you can give me a quote for your mailbox. And he sent me a text message just a little while ago and he was like, I found a stick and fixed the mailbox. It's fine now. And I'm like, oh, are you sure? Because like I nailed your mailbox. And he's like, no, it's good. I got it fixed. Stay safe. And I'm like, I'll try. But it's rough. It's a rough squirrel apocalypse out there. I really want that low wood to be a shell dweller tank. I know you do. He never stops about the shell dwellers. You'll learn that. The other thing is I burnt the crap out of my hands because in an emergency situation, when you're having a nicotine stick in your car and then you swerved him as a squirrel, you disregard the nicotine stick because that's not important anymore. What's important is don't hit the tree and the fence, right? So I disregarded that, and at the end of it, I was like, I have burnt myself. I don't know where it is, but I burnt myself in like 3 spots. Everybody's like, are you okay? Do you have whiplash? I'm like, no, I have burns. They're like, what did I catch on fire? I'm like, no, I'm an idiot. Like, Dan, you're on a roll, Haley. Come up in the attic and leave the window open. That'll spice things up. Then we'll get some trash pandas back in here, right? Like, I can't. 2020, I'm over it. Like, as much as I feel like the luckiest person in the world because of my friends and my family, and my daughter is healthy, and there's a roof over our heads at the moment, and that kind of thing. Like, also, I have the weirdest bad luck where it's like not horrible to where you really should be complaining about it because nobody got hurt and everything's fine and the car's semi-drivable. Like, all those things, very thankful for. But like also idiot. Like you like I do it to myself. Oh. You need to stop doing this stuff. Right. I don't know how it happens. I just make these like stupid decisions that get me nowhere. Just said better burns than hitting a tree, right? That's kind of what I thought. One of those rats shoot a hole in your hammock last year. No, yeah, I'm not. I got no love for the squirrels right now. Like normally, I'm like, oh, look at this cute squirrel. Oh, they're playing. Look, I love how their tails do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Where like, and they like flick their tail. Love that. I think it's adorable. I love to watch the squirrels. Now, I'm not so pro squirrel. T-Bone's fishes. G'day. Let's see. Science gal. I was just thinking about your raccoons. Yeah, I haven't heard a raccoon all year knock on something. I don't know. Maybe I got rid of her for good last time. Gone Mad says life's been turned upside down, but it's getting better. I mean, I don't know about getting better, but I feel like I'm leveling up and understanding the amount of things that I can take. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got this. It doesn't matter. Throw it at me. And 2020 is like, here's like 6 more things. And I'm like, okay, hang on. All right, I got it. It's fine. Just live your best life. And that's what I was doing this weekend. I was like, all right, I got the time. My car is doing all right. I'm gonna go to Ohio. I'm gonna live my best life, get some footage, see my fish, see some friends. You know what I'm saying? Like check on Brutus because I love him, and then the squirrel, and then a squirrel. Like you just gotta take the things life throws at you, people, and you gotta keep smiling and just push on, push on. I need a swap meet in my life, right? I need 6 swap meets in my life. I'm so tired of there being nothing going on, which is half the reason that I went to Ohio because I was like, I gotta do something. There's nothing. Like I'm breeding way too many fish. I probably have like 600 baby rainbow fish because I just keep pulling the eggs for no reason other than I'm making more rainbow fish. And I'm like, you're not a rainbow fish breeder. You're trying to breed rope fish. But in the mean, I also have a ridiculous amount of bettas because I was like, breed the bettas one time for the bat points. It'll be fun. Now I have 27 containers in my bedroom and a heater in there because I can't heat the containers. So I'm heating the room, which makes it hot in my bedroom, which I kind of like personally, but whatever. So yeah, I'm not going to breed bettas again, but I will have some bettas for sale once they get a little bit bigger because I cannot keep 27 bettas. I need 10 of them for BAP. Mickey says sell them to your employer. I can do that. But I would rather sell them straight to you guys because, I love you guys. And also I get to control the price. So I can sell them to you for like $10. Whereas if I give them to any of the fishy people that I work with, they're going to mark that price up. And they're not like high-end bettas. I bred a half moon to a koi half moon. I bred a regular half moon male to a koi Nemo half moon female. So I don't know what the babies are going to look like, but we're going to find out. This Chick Barn says, what kind of rainbows? Melanitania parva, Lake Kumari. I have a stupid amount of babies. Just stupid. I literally, when I found out that I was actually going to go to Ohio, I called Steven and I was like, do you want some baby rainbows? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, how many do you want? Like 50, 100? And he's like, whatever you want to do. So I managed to scoop up like 30. I was just doing swipes. I was like, however many. I don't care, however many. And then I get there and he's like, oh, these are babies. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I can't sell these yet. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. And also, I don't have a bazillion tanks for grow out. Like, I got this 50 low boy. And trust me, when there's 200 juvenile sized rainbows in there, it's going to be crazy and they're going to eat all my shrimp. So I got to do something about it. It's like, that's going to take forever. Start mass producing and let your job raise them, right? They don't have room for grow out either. Bob says discount code. Yeah, if you're going to shop at Aquatic Arts and you want to have a discount, you can use Oddball15 one time for 15% off. And you can use Oddball10 as many times as you want for 10% off. That's my coupon code for Aquatic Arts. But yeah, if you're in the market for a betta and you would like to have one just whatever, like, hit me up. But it's still going to be about, 2 months or something like that before they're ready to go? Because they're just little. They're just little ones. So get through Christmas, do all that stuff, then we'll talk bettas and possibly rainbows. John's Fish Michigan says, oh man, time to go shopping, right? Tom says, does it have to be pure line to BAP? No, it has to be pure species. So I'm not going to put the line on there for BAP. I'm just going to put Betta Splendens on my BAP form. Monster Fish Gal says, I'm going to need some female bettas. I have no idea whether they're males or females yet. I got to work on that. They're not big enough yet. So yeah, those will, as soon as I grow them out, be ready. I got plecos that are almost grown out, ready to be sold. And Wags is still over there wagging his little non-tail. I moved the puffers back in the 36 gallon to see if I can get them to breed again. And I moved all 6 of the rope fish that were in the pond back into the pond. And then I've got the 7 quarantine rope fish down here. And I've got a red tiger lotus flower that's blooming that I'm trying to film in time lapse. And it was open, like it came out of the water and it went like this, right? And you could see, the color inside of it. And I was like, sweet, it's gonna open up. I put the time lapse on it and it went like this. And it closed back up. I've never seen a flower do that before. It was like it took a breath. So now I don't know whether to put the time lapse on it tonight or wait another night. I'm not really sure. But I didn't get the full bloom. Like, it didn't bloom. It just went. What does that? Kevin says, what lights would you use and what low-tech plants that have a lot of cover, both rooted and floating? So I use LED shop lights from Walmart. That's what's up here. There's 2 of them. They're like $14. And you can grow any kind of Vallisneria. You can go guppy grass, Taiwan lily, crypts, water wisteria, Anubis. Anubis really don't like a lot of light, and neither does moss. Any kind of moss would love that. All my any tank where the light is starting to dim out, I like to put moss in there. And if you're gonna do a floater, you can put moss in a tank with a bunch of floaters in it because the floaters will block out the light from the moss. And you can float Taiwan lily, guppy grass. You can float a lot of stuff. I've got Ludwigia olivace that I float. Trying to think. What else? Pogo stem or Pontigeton Gaia. I got that. Yeah. What else? I got some plant right here that I really love that I don't know. I think it's some kind of hygrophilia. Real says, I thought lotus only bloomed for one night. Yeah, that's the problem. It's only going to bloom for one night, which means I got to catch it. But apparently that night that it went like this wasn't the night. And I'm like, it closed back up. I purchased a T5 and I'm not getting much growth. Are you fertilizing your water and doing water changes? Because light's only one factor. It's got to have something to grow on, like fertilizer, like it's got to have something to eat. And also water changes replenish some of the minerals that aren't in the fertilizer. So yeah. Carrie says, what kind of plecos do you sell? Long fin bristlenose, albinos, and regular color ones. I'm not sure how many albinos are actually in there at the moment because, here, I'll show you. That's my pleco tank right there. See all that guppy grass? That's all guppy grass. So down here at the bottom is like 60 plecos. And then, wait, how does this work? Okay, right here is the female betta and right here is the male betta. She keeps jumping out of there. But this is all guppy grass. This is Anubis. And somewhere in there is 60 plecos. So yeah, I don't know how many are in there at the moment. Caleb says, Haley, when's the next Aquashella? June, God willing, and the creek don't rise. It's June in Orlando. Patreon gives dibs on fish, right? They always do. If you're one of my patronizers, you just message me directly. We could do a live auction for fish and plants to help with the car fund. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Kevin says, I'm using Aquarium Coop's Easy Green. I guess I need to purchase 614 Fertz fertilizer. Easy Green will work. I've used Easy Green before. Easy Green just doesn't have as much, like if you really want to be churning plants out of that thing and you're doing a crazy amount of water changes, you want a really high nitrogen fertilizer. But I ran my tanks on Aquarium Co-op's fertilizer forever, and they did fantastic. So I recommend both. Morrison says that Family Farm says I have plants and I don't know anything special to the water, but I have Java fern and moss. Yeah, both slow growers, both don't require a lot. Your fish are probably sustaining them. Am I going to Orlando Aquashella? If they have, or if it goes, I'm going. Greyhound bus, hitchhiking. I don't care. I'm going. What else? What else? What else? Do 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 do. Auction would be awesome. An auction would be awesome. I just don't know how to pull it off online. I've seen some people do stuff like that. I just don't. I don't know. I could figure it out. I'm gonna take a nap first, and then maybe I'll figure that out. But really, I just want to like let other people do the selling of the stuff. I'm not in this to be selling stuff. I'm in this to be breeding stuff, and then I end up with too much stuff, and people are like, "I want that stuff," and I'm like, "I'll send it to you. I just need some shipping money," and they're like, "No, let me buy it," and I'm like, "Okay." Dragon Lair says, "Stop by and get me on the way to Orlando." I can't get myself. How am I going to stop by and get you? God forbid there's a squirrel in the road. We'll never make it. Orlando's happening. Don't worry. Tampa Tom's on it. He's going to make sure. John's Fish said, "I always end up killing Java Fern. I don't know why." Hashtag me too, bro. I cannot grow Java Fern. Can't do it. It dies every time. I can grow all these other plants. Java Fern, nope. Mm-mm. We all know you're an awesome auctioneer. I want to prove that to people. I want people to have auctions. I got a little tiny taste of it, and I was like, "Oh, I could do that. That's fun. Let me do some more of that." And then they were like, "World closed." And I was like, "Oh, well, I suppose I'll wreck all my cars." Someone just hire a bus and go pick everyone up on the way there. You know, I've gotten to that point in the last month. I've just been like, you know what? Maybe the answer is just I buy a giant RV and I put my family in it and I just become a nomad. And I just travel around wherever I want, doing whatever needs to be done. And I just show up at people's fish rooms and I'm like, "Hey, you get the dragon for a week. Sit back and I will do your water changes and film videos and you can take a week off." And then I get back in my RV with my family and I go to the next place. And I'm like, "Hello, I'm here. Allow me to help you. What do you need done?" That would be so much fun. Call it the Fish Fam Dragon Services. It's just everybody gets a dragon once a year to clean their fish tank or tanks. Bob says, "Come by here first," right? Like, "Okay, we're at Bob Keeler's house, and for some reason I can't leave. There's a force field, and he won't let me out of the house." Buy an RV and cover it in squirrel skins, right? Squirrel mobile. Wham bam fish fam van. Let's see. Pimp my tank, right? I just show up and I pimp your tank, and by pimp I mean I clean it. Oh look, see, I already got Carrie. She's gonna rent Haley 2.0 water change system. And Sean says he's on the way to Bob. See, people want their water changed. They just want a week off, and you can just stare at your tanks the whole time. You can like critique me and be like, "Hey, this, move that over there. Hey, you didn't get this algae here. I'm used to it." You can just stand there and like dictate, and I'm gonna film it all. So just know that if you become a real jerk, everybody's gonna know. But if you're nice about it, you just get all your stuff done the way you want it. And now I got this cat up in my grill. What's up, cat? You want to come up here, or you just want to bother me? We got 5 more minutes with these lovely folks, and I still got to show them the rope fish, because while you're adorable, these are fish people. There you go. Sean wants fish shed help instead of water changes. Hey, I can hammer a nail. I can paint a board. I can make, ice water. Bob says, no, I'll be going to the beach or somewhere and leaving me alone with your fish tanks. That's smart. You're going to come home and you're just going to have rope fish. How's Everest? She's fine. She's a pain. I don't know. I think she's waiting for the bear to come back. I think the bear went to go get the rabbit out of the thing. Oh no, the tablet's dead. The tablet's dead. I'll be in there in a second to plug it in. Give me 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. Okay, so let's check out these rope fish. You gotta get down. All right. Check it out. Check it out. All right, so this is the 50 lowboy, and this is the rope fish quarantine tank under the 50 lowboy. Check this out. Yes, and that's the cat. But watch this. So they already know that I'm standing here, which means they're all probably right here waiting for me to open the lid. Ready? There they are. Hi, guys. Hello. I already fed you today. I don't know why you're acting so hungry. See this? These are my rope fish. Yes, baby. He went to go get food out of the rabbit hutch and bring him in for the night. Daddy said he was going to get you chocolate milk. You really, really want to be in the live stream? Okay, come here. We're almost done with the live stream. You can come here for a second and say hello to the rope fish. Look, they're being awful cute. You want to pet them?
Yeah, I can show people that they're very nice.
Yeah, you can. There's the Jaden. And Jaden has figured out how to be calm and pet the rope fish.
What's 6 of them over here?
All 7.
Oh, 7?
Yep.
I thought you said 6.
There's 7 in there.
You didn't see the 7th one.
Count them.
1, 2, 3.
It's hard to count them, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard because they move around, right?
Yeah, when one's underneath one, you think the tail is another one, but it's shorter.
Right.
Yeah, so it's hard, huh?
It is. It's real confusing.
Yeah, it's real confusing. Hi, buddy. I'm touching their...
Aren't these the best fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like our other stupid rope fish.
Hey, our other rope fish aren't stupid. They're just wild.
Yeah, they don't. They're jerks.
They're jerks? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, everybody needs a pond filled with trained rope fish that come up and beg for food.
They don't beg for food. They're just playing.
Because nothing is as fun as a big old squirmy pile of rope fish.
Yeah, because they love you.
Because they love you, right?
Yeah, and they always come up for you to touch them or food.
Well, they do if you're calm. If you're a bit spazzy, they jump away. But you apparently possess the zen required for rope fish petting. Sorry about the glare. It's kind of hard to not have glare.
Yeah, there's the kitty.
Yeah, there's the kitty.
That eat the fishies, which he's
That
not.
kitty won't eat the fishies.
Cats beg for fish. Okay?
Our cats like fish.
No, touching his fingers.
What size is this pond? This is one of those, like, I think it's a 30-gallon, not 1042. It's a 30-gallon little circle pond insert. Oh, jumped at you.
I'm very nice. Don't worry.
Yeah, the other rope fish have been in the pond for 2 years, so they are.
Mommy, Daddy's back.
Daddy's back. Is he getting your chocolate milk? I told her she could get up.
Yeah.
Can you tell how many boys or girls? I'm pretty sure it's 4 females and 3 males.
Oh,
But they are so little that I didn't really
Girls
pay
just
much
rock-
attention.
Girls just rock the brake, okay?
Oh, you almost knocked me over. Hey, you're starting to scare them. You know that? You got to be more calm.
I'm trying,
Every
okay?
time you lose that zen, that's when you get splashed in the face.
I don't care. I like water.
Oh, do you?
No, I like playing it. I like playing it. Okay, it's not drinking.
Yeah, don't be drinking that water. That's ropefish water.
Yeah, there's poop. There's poop everywhere.
I mean, there's not really poop everywhere.
Yeah, but
Can I show the lid? It's just a poly. What is this called? Polycarbonate.
yeah, it has little holes in it right here.
Yeah, and we cut it into a circle. And then I threw this little light on it.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Oh,
Bob says you're precious. Are you precious, Jaden? No? Yes? Yeah? Okay.
You do.
You look like you're a little drowned, precious, because you just got out of the shower. Is it hinged? No, it's painter's taped in the middle. That's painter's tape.
No rough.
So it's temporary lid. You're
Awesome. Over here.
gonna get all 7 of them over here?
Oh, number 2, 9, 10.
No, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I think you made all that up.
All right, little one.
All right, we got to say goodbye to everybody because I'm past the hour. And I'm pretty sure Danikin Aquatics is on next. Hang on, I'll
Okay.
flip the camera and you can say goodbye and all the things you want to say. What do you want to say?
Bye.
Bye. How about like and subscribe?
Like and subscribe.
How about Ohio Fish Rescue Rules?
Ohio Fish Rescue Rules.
How about live your best life?
Live your best life.
That's right. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for all the super chats and for listening to the story of my crazy day. And we rock on, right? All right. Yeah, remember, Sean wants you to set up a shell dweller tank and rope fish are the coolest and live your best life. I love you guys.
Live your best life. Have a good day.